What's up guys? Today we are going to be looking at the Adidas Pureboost Trainers. We're going to assess the pros, cons, their performance, and the construction that goes into making this shoe. Alright, 3 things I liked about this model. Number 1 is the boost technology. Throughout the full midsole, it offers an extremely comfortable ride and a lot of responsiveness. Number 2, I like the movable knit up on the upper construction. It's very comfortable. It's very nice to wear with both socks and without socks if you just need a pair of shoes to slip right on. And then my last perk about the shoe is that I dig it for using it for light plyometric movements. So like light jumps, lighter runs. The shoe is pretty great, although there is a caveat to that, which I'll mention in the cons. Alright, so now let's talk cons of this shoe. Number 1 is that it is not the most stable model for cross training. Adidas markets it as a cross trainer, but I find it a little bit hard to believe when supporting heavy weight, and honestly, I would not use this shoe for doing so. If you need a more stable outsole, we've actually made a video on how to choose the perfect cross trainer for your needs. I would advise checking that out. So again, a con is the midsole. While it is very comfortable, it is pretty unstable under heavy weight. My second con that comes along with this shoe is the heel slip. So as you can see, this elastic comes up and offers a little bit of ankle support, but this knit outer construction on the heel is not the most stable, and there's not really a good firm cupping the heel. So it does have a little bit of slip in it, especially when doing like longer duration runs, doing heavier movements where you're having a lot of ankle flexion, or just doing more jumping movements. So while it is great for lighter workouts, I would be weary of the heel slip during heavier workouts or movements when you really need that shoe to stay in place. My final con with this model is the lacing. Honestly, it's really hard to pull these shoes extremely tight. So if you're looking for extra stability in the lacing, you might not get that with this shoe. So that being said, 3 cons. Number 1 is it's not the most stable model. Number 2, the heel slip. And number 3, the lacing. So now let's chat performance of the Adidas Pureboost Trainer. So if you're looking for a nice comfortable shoe for lighter workouts, the casual class, or just your everyday like recreational lifting setting, the shoe is pretty great. It's very comfortable. It offers a medium to light amount of stability. So again, it doesn't really work under heavy movements, but it can support lighter movements. If you're looking to squat maximal loads, do a lot of Olympic lifts, do a lot of like CrossFit style workouts, I would highly advise looking for other models that are a little bit more stable. This midsole is super reactive, super cushiony, and also the heel slip is problematic, especially if you're doing things like split jerks, or you're just doing things that are gonna require a lot of toe drag and then jumping, so like box jump burpees over repetitive bouts. So again, in terms of like lighter workouts, lighter performance, this shoe excels. It's very comfortable. The boost technology offers a very comfortable ride and responsiveness to the shoe. But the heel slip and lack of stability in the heel and the midsole makes it problematic for heavy lifting or more serious workouts. So in respects to price for this model, you can expect to pay between $95 to $120, and that's going to be based on sales and colorways of the shoe you're looking for. So in regards to other cross-training shoes, that's kind of right in line with like the middle to more pricey models on the market. If you are looking for a daily shoe that is extremely comfortable, that you can wear for lighter workouts, then the price could be justified. However, if you're looking for a shoe to support maximal loads and squats and other serious workouts, I would advise looking into other models so that way you don't spend $120 on the shoe, realize it's too soft, and then have to buy another pair of cross trainers that can support your workout needs. Alright, so now let's chat sizing and fit of this model. So I am a size 10 foot, we have a size 10 shoe here. We use 10s in all of our cross-training model reviews. So now let's see how this fits. We have the hoop back here. It is a booty style shoe, so you're gonna pull it on similar to a sock. So this is how the laces come when you first get the shoes. And I reference how you can't really pull them tight. In all honesty, I'm not a huge fan of this lacing style. And so if you're thinking, hey guy, why don't you try the other way I did on the other shoe, and we'll get to that in 1 second. But I just want to give some context on how you tie these shoes tight and how they're not the best at really providing extra support through the midfoot with the laces alone. So in terms of overall fit, these fit pretty true to size. I have a little bit of room up here, and I would say if you are erring on the side of the smaller end of your true to size, then I would say maybe go down a half size for the shoe, simply because it is a booty style shoe, and with the heel slip, I actually think a tighter fit might actually do a little bit better with this model. So I actually wish I would have went down a half size just to prevent any of this heel slip back here when doing movements. So now let's look at the other way of lacing. Boom. So we have this shoe laced in a traditional way of lacing the shoe. And I just want to point out that you can get a little bit more stability when lacing it this way, but then you get this weird overlap down here in the toe. And at the end of the day, it still doesn't provide that much support. And it actually just kind of, in my opinion, if you're buying these just for daily comfort and wear, it looks kind of goofy when they're laced like this. That's just my opinion though, but yeah, so again, not the most stable with the laces. I would maybe go a half size down in these just because of the booty design, and if you want a firmer shoe with less heel slip, looking at this model, this looks a lot more aesthetic if you just want a day-to-day shoe. So in conclusion, I would say if you err on the larger side of your normal true to size foot, go with your normal size. So if you wear a 10 normally, go with a 10 in these. However, if you want to avoid any of the stability issues or having extra room or maybe preventing some of the heel slip, then you could cheat the stability by going a half size down, and I think you should be pretty safe. All right, let's talk construction of the shoe. Let's go from the toe to the heel. Up here on the toe, we have a knit build. It's pretty reactive, decently stretchy, not overly stretchy to where it feels super loose. Up here on the toe, we have a midsole that wraps all the way around evenly. We have kind of like a TPU layering here on the medial side. That's pretty cool for toe dragging movements, so like burpees. It's gonna be a little bit more resistant to early tearing. Working our way to the midfoot, we have 5 eyelets that run up. These eyelets are kind of built into the knit itself. I'm not completely sold on if I like that kind of design yet. This kind of moves in, so when we lace it this way, it kind of pulled this hole in a little bit more as opposed to like just remaining a little bit more static. So as you can see, the eyelets actually stretch a decent amount here on the shoe that's pulled fully tight compared to this way of lacing that the shoes come with. Making our way to the midfoot on the lateral side, we have the 3-stripe life out here. Feels like a TPU-ish layer here, a little bit firmer than the knit itself. We have an elastic waistband that comes up over the ankle, and this does have a little bit of separation from the knit boot design. So as you can see, we have a little bit of separation there. We have some extra stitching here to ensure the durability. I'm not too sure how this is gonna last over a long duration of time. In my opinion, it doesn't feel that stable. So I'd be curious to see how this holds up against repetitive flexion of the ankle over and over and over again. Making our way to the heel, we have a thicker layer of a loop back here to pull the shoe on. We have a little bit of a midsole material that comes up over the heel, but nothing super substantial. There's no additional heel cup or heel clip to provide support. So as you can see, the upper part of the shoe is very, very maneuverable and not the most stable. The midsole wraps all the way around. So we have this nice translucent midsole that goes all the way around the shoe. And then for the outsole, we have a multi-directional material that, as you can see, moves differently for laterally and medially through the midfoot, and then forward and backwards for the heel and the toe. On the inside of this shoe here, we have the Boost technology. And now what that is Adidas' way of adding like a compressible TPU functionality to their shoes to give them a lot of responsiveness. Now, Boost is very, very comfortable, and that's why it's very popular, but for heavier cross training, I'm not completely sold, and I'm not exactly sold on this model being used for any form of heavy lifts. So keep that with a grain of salt. I know I mentioned that multiple times throughout this workout. The insole does remove, and as you can see the Boost through the heel back here. As we stick it back in, sits pretty firmly. The insole does feel a little bit different compared to the Boost material, even though it kind of has a weird texture that's somewhat similar on the bottom. So all in all, I think those are the construction points worth noting about this model. Again, midsole wraps all the way around. We have Boost technology on the inside and a full knit outer construction for a maneuverable and comfortable ride. And that wraps up my review of the Adidas Pureboost trainers. Now, in terms of overall comfort, this is definitely one of the most comfortable models I've ever worn in cross trainers. However, it's not the best for supporting heavy workouts. If you want to learn more about this shoe and my thoughts, Google BarBend and Adidas Pureboost trainer.